Ìbàdàn mèsì ọ̀gọ̀ nílé Olúyọ̀lé. Ìbàdàn ọmọ àjòròsùn. The town of Ògúnmọ́lá. Olódògbò kẹ̀rí in battle. The city of Ìbíkúnlé. Alágbàlá Jáyàjáyà. The city set amongst 7 hills.
The third largest city on the African continent. The city of great warriors, peopled primarily by the Yoruba race. A city of many firsts. First university in Nigeria. First teaching hospital in West Africa. First television and radio station in Africa. City with the first skyscraper in Nigeria. Ibadan, the city that on the 21st January 1957 saw the first lady of Apostle Reverend Sister of the Catholic missionaries, who were dedicated to the advancement of Nigerian humanhood, founded a modern commercial school at Agotelo with 16 girls as the first set of students.
Grace Olu Akinyede, Felicia Olu Adedipe ní Sódẹ̀ndé, Cecilia Titi Oni ní Akínbọ̀, Francisca Udenta, Roslyn Eromosele, Aduke Busari, Dúpẹ́ Adéòtí ní Bọ́lájí.
All of them are now well accomplished. By 1962, the school was transformed to a commercial grammar school called Our Lady of Apostles Secondary Grammar School, Maryway, Ibadan, with a science subject added on. Students of Maryway, as the school was popularly known, were divided into 4 houses, identified by different colors. Our Lady of Apostle House, green color. Our Lady of Fatima House, red color. Our Lady of Lourdes House, blue color. Our Lady of Loreto House, yellow color. The first set of principals from 1957 to the 70s were all Catholic missionary, starting from Reverend Mother Cadiz, followed by Reverend Sister Alib Smith. She was succeeded by Reverend Sister Camel, Reverend Fr. T.G. Moray, SMA, was the parish priest of Christ the King Church, Oduona, where the students from Maryway worshipped from 1957. He was the Catholic Education Secretary, Ibadan Diocese, Western Region. Our Lady of Apostles Secondary Grammar School, Maryway Oduona, in the city of Ibadan, Oyo State, has produced many ladies who are well accomplished and who today are a pride to the school. Towards the 3rd quarter of 2018, the old students of the school, under the able leadership of Pastor Mrs. Valentina Titilayo Sholanrin New Shewu, a distinguished old student, considered it necessary to bring the different groups of old students who had formed themselves together in various cities in the country under one umbrella. Our Lady of Apostles Secondary Grammar School, Maryway Old Students Association, OLAMIOSA. In the next few minutes, you will hear from former students and teachers who imparted significantly on the students under their tutelage, starting with the first president of OLAMIOSA, Pastor Mrs. Valentina Titilayo Sholanrin.
I was admitted into Form 1 in 1965, and I stayed on till 1969 for my secondary school education. Well, I don't think it's a spiritual motivation. I was just sitting in my sitting room one day and I just had this hunch to link up with old girls who had passed through the school. And my motivation was just to set up a WhatsApp platform where we can all reconnect and enjoy ourselves, old school stories and all that. But no sooner did I start that, I realized that my mission was more than that. There was a need to send a mission to the school to visit and assess the situation of things. And when they brought a report, it was really gory. And that was how the mission actually started. I think it was God who did it. And in no time, I found that I had the support of both who were my seniors in the school and my juniors and my peers. And we were able to launch out to do something to bring back the old glory of the school. Actually, I had to deploy as the leader, to deploy a lot of my resources initially. And I had quite some iconic members of our association who also joined by putting resources together and also contacting the government to come and help us to renovate the school. The rest is history now. And in a spate of about 2.5 years, we were able to bring back the glory of the school. There was a reconstruction of the dilapidated facilities, and I and another student, both of us, we worked together to give the school a new library, stock it with new books. I think I just took it as my project.
When we were in Form 5, that was when the question of senior prefects came up. 62. We had the prefects, we had different types of badges. Good conduct badge. If you are the best that week, you will wear good conduct badge. I was in a lady's house. Hey.
The green house.
Yes. Then we have the yellow house, we have the blue house,
and the red.
The red house and the green house. That was what really frightened me. I didn't know how to cope. But to the glory of God, when I command, they listen and they obey. On Saturdays, we all have our chores in the convent.
Yeah, in the convent.
We scrub, we do this. I was in charge of the chapel. I would lay the priest's garments, So.
And everybody had their own chores.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were taught Latin. That was the only thing. It was when Mrs. Oyelola came, Mrs. Oyelola, she did Latin and French. So those coming behind us did French. They didn't do Latin. The Latin stopped with the class after us.
In those days, there was discipline and everything was orderly. We have a Reverend Mother Akkad, who was in charge of the boarders, and he makes sure that everybody did the right thing. You must be on time for everything. You cannot be late for class. You must not be late for your lunch. You must not be late for your siesta. You must not be late for your study in the evening. You must keep to time. And there is no fighting. If anybody offends you, report the person. I went to teach in 64, and it was a pleasant surprise for me, and it was a great joy to teach in my former school. And I enjoy it so much, and the students like me so much that I spent all my time teaching them, explaining things to them, and advising them what to do. That year, I can never forget.
Hello, Pelumi and all members of OLAMIOSA. This is me again, Mrs. Patricia Oyelola. I was a teacher at Maryway from 1962 to 1967. I came to Nigeria with a degree in French and Latin from the University of London. I taught French at OLA and also gave the girls lessons in the rudiments of ballroom dancing with the blessing of Sister Ailby and the help of my dear husband and Sister Barbara. It was a wonderful school. Sister Ailby was a wonderful, devoted woman who was always good-tempered, always sunny-natured, and she took the girls like her own children. The most vivid memory I have of OLA was when I put on the production of Everyman by Duro Ladipo, and I realized I had to have authentic singing and drumming and dancing, and he very generously attended rehearsals without asking for a kobo. We put on the play at St. Teresa's Hall. It was a great success, and at the end of the production, Sister Ailby presented him with a purse. I don't know how much was in it, but he never asked for a kobo for his help. The profession of teaching is one that is very under-remunerated, and I know that people have a lot of problems, but believe me, a teacher is the foundation of any and every kind of progress that Nigeria has ever made and ever will make. So please, if you're a teacher, take your work seriously. And the wonderful camaraderie of OLAMIOSA, may it last long. May there be no disputes between the members, and may they all remember that they were part of a wonderful school. So God bless you all. This is me again, Dr. Mrs. Patricia Oyelola. God bless you all.
Yes, I can remember when we acted a play. We acted a play, Every Man, Eda, by Duro Ladipo, and it was directed by Lere Paimo. I was in the cast, and it was a big thing. We rehearsed for a very, very long time, and eventually the play was staged at St. Teresa's College for the public audience, and it was one of the memorable events, and up till today, I think it was one of the things I enjoyed in the school.
The school started as a commercial school, and later on went to secondary. I was among those who were transferred from Queen of Apostles, Okeofa, to Maryway. Mostly it was commercial subjects, and later on we had some subjects were added, like science subjects were added, but mostly it was like typing and shorthand. The subjects we had then: typing, shorthand, English language, English literature, geometry, maths, geometry, algebra, arithmetic. Okay. We did needlework and religious studies. The first principal was Mother Akkad. With her, we had Sister Melda, if I can remember, Sister Ailby. I think those were the sisters I remember with Mother Akkad.
Good day, everybody, and congratulations on another convention, the third in the series. My name is Dr. Mrs. Foluke Abdulrazak, and the chairperson of the Board of Trustees of OLAMIOSA. I gained admission into Our Little Apostles Maryway Grammar School at Pataganga in 1967 and passed out in 1971 to the glory of God. I can't but remember the great men and women who were tutors those days. Tutors that had the interest and well-being of the students in heart and went the extra length to make sure they did their best for us. I remember all of my teachers, but to mention a few, I'll first of all mention Mr. Adebayo, our typing and shorthand teacher, who eventually became the vice president of my college, the Bridge House College, because I invited Papa over to come and join me, just to make sure he kept himself busy. He was with us in the college for a couple of years, and he did very well. And up till today, we check on him, his welfare is being taken care of, and he's very well. They're very frail at the moment. So Mr. Adebayo, thank you for all what you did for us. When I was at Maryway, Mrs. Oluwa, history teacher, I was quite glad to see that some of the queens in Ibadan visited Mrs. Olu recently in Ijebu, Ode, and I hope she'll be here with us today. Mrs. Adekoya, Mrs. Olatunji, Mrs. Oyemade, Mr. Olumejule, Mr. Phillips. A big thank you to all of you wherever you are today. I can't but continue to thank you for all the role you played in my life and life of quite a number of people in OLA.
Maryway has instilled a lot of discipline in us, which prepares us for responsibility in the future, to be respectful to others, to deal positively with people in the society, and as well as to focus on our academic pursuits. For our upcoming students, I will advise that they prepare themselves to keep abreast of changes that occur, and that will help them in future life. Thank you.
Fumi Roberts. In school, I was Miss Fumi Owolabi, Oluwa Fumilayo Ajike Owolabi, and I entered the school in 1970 till 1974. It couldn't be 5 years because it was during our set that the government decided to eliminate advanced levels, that's A levels in secondary school. So we all went to the Polytechnic for our A levels.